think we're online. So, good evening to all of you. I hope you're all well. Firstly, I'd like to apologise about the problems we had with the connection last week, and I hope we're not going to have difficulties today. Good evening there, Count Beauty. I hope you are well. So, we're going to have a class that is similar to the one I do every week, but with different idioms and a different story, I hope. Okay, good evening, English Vibes. Good evening, Lavinia. Yes, everyone's starting to appear now. Okay, so can you see this first idiom? He's always boasting and bragging about how wonderful he is. He's always blowing. So, to boast is to tell everyone how wonderful, how fantastic you are. To exaggerate. Good evening, Voltaire. Good evening, Kira. Okay, Ricardo, it looks like you're starting with that. Good evening, Sandeep. Good evening, Eugenia. Okay, so to boast and to brag is to say how fantastic you are. He's blowing his own whistle. I prefer Susanta's version here, blowing his own trumpet. Yeah, blowing his own trumpet. That's the phrase, yeah. So he's always... Whoops, let's get the right channel here. He's always blowing his own trumpet. So if somebody's blowing their own trumpet, they're showing off. That's a good phrase, Manna King. Yeah? Blowing smoke. I like this. You know the word boastful. Well, Lavinia, to brag is the same thing. Good evening, Matt. Good evening, Prabeen. Good evening, Vera. Nice to see you. And Maria Angeles. And Akpon as well. Okay, so I ought to put another one here, yeah? Okay, so to brag, to boast, to blow your own trumpet. I'm fantastic. I'm the best. Being ostentatious, that's a good word, Manna King. Good evening, Emmy. Nice to see you. Okay. Can I say boast, beating his own drum? You could say that as well. Yeah, I definitely think you could. Although I think it's more common to say to blow your own trumpet. Good evening, good Gertrudis. Or is it Gertrude? Yeah, it's Gertrudis. Okay, so Maesh, good evening. Amir, Ignacio. Okay, so this next one here. He has promised to change and be good from now on. He has turned over... he's turned over what? So this is when you change. Good evening, Alejandro Toledo from Rio de Janeiro. To turn over, so that's very good, Sandeep. Yeah, that's very good, Sandeep. And Voltaire as well. Okay, so if you change, you turn over a new leaf. Here I think a leaf is a page in a book. So you turn to the next page to turn over a new leaf. Does boast apply to places? I guess it could. London is always boasting that it has the best tourist attractions in the world. Okay, to turn over a new leaf, to change. So the doctor said I've got to go on a diet and I'm going to turn over a new leaf. Good evening, Elena. Wonderful to see you. Normally we say a new leaf, a leaf. The leaf actually means the page, though. So you've actually got the idea. Yeah, to turn over a new leaf. To change. So the doctor says I've got to go on a diet, so I need to turn over a new leaf. No more fried foods, no more meat, just vegetables and eat very little. Leaf is also the leaf of a tree. Exactly, Lavinia. Okay, a leaf of a tree, a leaf of a book. Yeah, so I don't know, a leaf of paper. Yeah, to turn the page. That's the idea. But you see, to turn over a new leaf, to turn over a new leaf, to turn the page. It could be, but to turn the page, to go to something new. Okay, let's try the next one then. It was exactly the answer I wanted to hear. His reply was, to my ears. So pleasure is good, music sounds much better, beauty. It was honey to my ears. I like that, Elena, but we say music in English. So, well done, Eugenia. Ha, no, Kira, music to my ears. Okay, if something's music to my ears. My boss said that he was going to give me a pay rise. It was music to my ears. I don't know, it's been very hot and the next couple of days are going to be cool. This was music to my ears. Yes, well done, Ricardo, Emina and Lavinia. So, I passed my exam. When I discovered I'd passed my exam, it was music to my ears. It's music to my ears when I hear you, when I see you answering correctly. Good evening, Maria Angeles. So, music to my ears. Absolutely. It's music to my ears to know that all of you are here and listening and concentrating. Yeah, it's music. It'll be music to your ears when you see how much your English has improved. I hope, anyway. We can only try. So, let's try the next one. I have the absolute minimum quantity of money necessary to do this project. I have a budget. Limit budget. A limited budget with an ED might work, Count Beauty. A low budget, that would work as well. What did you say there, Voltaire? That's really good, Voltaire. Yeah, but I have a feeling Voltaire's English is pretty good. And Javi, yes, your English is pretty good as well. Good evening, Latta. And Yuri, a shoestring budget. So, a shoestring budget. Okay, a shoestring, this is the lace that you tie up on your shoes. The laces. Okay, when he said when she said I love you to me with fervour, it was indeed music to my ears. Okay, so a shoestring budget. A shoestring budget. Yeah, you tie your shoelaces with a shoestring or a shoelace. A shoestring budget, the absolute minimum. In this world, there are many, many people who have to live on a shoestring budget, the very minimum possible. Yeah, so a shoestring budget. You don't have money to spare. Yeah, we say a shoestring budget. Okay, so I guess most governments are going to be on a shoestring budget after they've paid out all this money they promised to help COVID. Okay, good evening, Mohammed. And let's see the next one. Okay, the next one is about when two people look the same. You look exactly like my brother. You are the image of my brother. Oh, Ricardo knows this one. Let's see if anyone else does. So if two people look exactly the same, one is my name's Alex Mohammed. Spitting, ing, Count Beauty. That's good latter. So Lavinia, spitting image. Javi, the spitting image. Vitari, I think it's something like Vitari, yeah. So, spitting image, head through this. Kira, you're the mirror image of my brother. Kira, I don't think that's wrong. I think that's right. I think that would also work. You are the mirror image of my brother. A dead ringer. I like that phrase, Javi. Antonio, the spitting image. Splurge normally means to spend money. Yeah? Okay, the spitting image, to spit. Yeah? Is to spit. So, look-alike. You are a look-alike of my brother. But the spitting image, that's it, spitting image. Okay, so if two people are the spitting image of each other, they look exactly the same. They look just like each other. Okay, so, yeah, the spitting image. And let's try this next one. This next one is about the clothes that people wear, yeah? So we'll see. It needs to come through, or maybe it's just taking longer than necessary. I'm going to paste it here as well then. Okay, so she's 50, but dresses like a teenager. She looks like dressed as... So... She's 50 years old, but she dresses like a teenager with mini skirts and low-cut blouses. Spit from nose. That's interesting, I mean. Okay, so what about this one? She's 50, but dresses like a teenager. She looks like... Normally this is critical, but I actually quite like older ladies in short skirts. They look very nice. Low-cut blouses. It's the sort of thing that I really quite enjoy. This one we don't know. She looks like Doll. So, does anyone know this? I'm sure hubby knows it. Grandma as grandchildren. I like wolf. She looks like a wolf dressed as a lamb. Way Wellesley. So I don't think I've seen you here before, but that's the answer. Yeah. So look at what Way's put. I don't think anyone else knows this one. So this is a tough one, so let me just write the answer. She looks like mutton dressed as lamb. Okay, so let me put this in the thing in the chat as well. Okay, so mutton dressed as lamb. Mutton is the meat from a sheep, and lamb is the meat from a baby sheep. Yeah? So, mutton dressed as lamb. Yes, that's it, latter. Mutton dressed like a lamb. Yes, mutton dressed as lamb, Vero. Let old wrinkles come with mirth. Sounds very good to me. So, mutton dressed as lamb. An old lady dressed like a teenager. Yeah? Mutton dressed as lamb. Remember this word mutton. Mutton is the meat from the sheep. It can actually be more tasty than lamb, though. It depends. But if they say somebody is mutton dressed as lamb or dressed as lamb, they're being very critical about the person. Yeah? And they're saying they shouldn't dress like that. Situation and condition. I think that's probably more a video. Yes, it's pretty savage, exactly latter. So be careful of it. Okay, they're making a mountain out of a molehill. Condition. So to make a mountain out of a molehill, this is a storm in a... Oh, lots of people have got this one. A storm in a teacup, exactly. So, Javi, Ricardo, in a teacup. That's pretty good, Eugenia. A teacup, Antonio. Okay, it's storm in a teacup. Vitalia. Yes, it's Vitali, isn't it? A teacup, exactly. a teacup, good. A storm in a teacup, Sandeep. Voltaire, in a teacup. Kira, storm in a teacup. Yeah. Or a tempest in a teapot. I like that, Habby, as well. That's a really good one. English vibes, a storm in a teacup. Exactly, latter. Gertrudis, well done. Emine, in a teacup. Vero, not in a glass, Sergei, in a teacup. A storm in a teacup. Okay, a storm in a teacup is when they're making a lot about something that's really not very important. Yeah? Okay, so Susanta, well done. Maesh in a teacup. Mariangeles, good. There's nothing less than a piece of cake. A storm in a teacup. Fuss made about a petty thing. Much ado about nothing. Mohammed, I will answer your question with a video, but this is not the time to answer questions. I need to follow the thing that I'm doing. I will answer your question in a video, Mohammed. Situation versus condition. I've got it written down. Okay, so let's try the next one. He's not really upset about the situation. So he's not upset. He's just pretending. He's shedding tears, hair. So, Ricardo, crocodile's tears. No, it's Voltaire. Crocodile tears. And Vitalie. So he's shedding crocodile tears. Crocodile tears. Notice no possessive. This is a noun construction. And head through this. Remember, it's crocodile, not crocodrilo, but crocodile. There are two changes in. Facetious tears is the idea. Crocodile tears, exactly, Elena. Okay, so good evening, Sheena. No problem. Nice to see you. Okay, so Danielle Guevara has got crocodile tears as well. Okay, and so Ricardo, it's important with these idioms to get them exactly right. Crocoteers. Yeah, it probably works. Crocoteers, I like that. And, storm in a teacup. Okay, so let's do one more. Crocodile. It's good to see you, Sheena. You've been supporting me for a very long time now. So, let's try the next one. Boys Kikani. So, an important person in a not very important place is known as a big in a small. Yeah, exactly. That's the point. They sound really strange, Ricardo, if you don't get them absolutely right. So, Javi, looks like you've got this one. An important person in not a very important, this should be a C, not an S, place, is known as a big in a small, and as Javi's put it, a big fish in a small pond. Well done, Maesh. Well done. Yeah? So somebody who's a big fish in a small pond is an important person. He's a big cheese in an unimportant place. So, Amir, well done. Vitali, well done. Can we use purport as in the place of pretend? He's just purporting to be sad. If you use purport, it needs to be transitive. Pretend can be intransitive. So he's a big fish in a small pond. Yeah? Absolutely. Zubir, well done, Sheena, as well. Head through this. That's good. Okay, I think it's probably time for us to change now. And I think we're going to do a story, as we always do. And this time the story is about a shepherd and his sheep. And, so let's just make some space here. So, the story is called The Sheep, the Shepherd, and His Cloak. Okay. Yeah, my former boss was a big fish in a small pond. Yeah. So, let's see. This story is called The Sheep, the Shepherd, and the Cloak, and His Cloak. So the sheep, you know, baa, baa, the sheep. The shepherd is the person who looks after them. And his cloak is like a coat. It's something that goes over your shoulders to keep you warm. So, yes, I did misspell the word place. I hope I changed it, yeah? So how did the shepherd make the acorns fall to the ground? So an acorn is the fruit of an oak tree. Yeah, that is an acorn. Yeah, it's a little round thing that's got a top. Ooh, look, I've even got a piece of one here. Well, that, if you can see it, is part of an acorn. Yeah? So, how did the shepherd make the acorns fall to the ground? Yeah. So, Maish, it's the fruit of a tree. It should have another piece here. It's the fruit of an oak tree. Yeah? To fall onto the ground. I think onto the ground is very good on. Yes, to the ground, onto the ground would work very well. So let me read. A shepherd had driven his sheep into a wood of oak trees. He then spread his cloak under an oak tree and climbed up into the tree in order to shake the acorns down. As the sheep ate the acorns, they also bit holes in the shepherd's cloak. The shepherd then climbed down from the tree, and when he saw what had happened, he said, "You wretched creatures! You give wool to other people so that they can make clothes, but you take my clothes and ruin them, even though I'm the one who feeds you." So, how did the shepherd make the acorns fall to the ground, onto the ground? And what moral would you give the story? Let me read again. A shepherd had driven his sheep into a wood of oak trees. He then spread his cloak under an oak tree and climbed up into the tree in order to shake the acorns down. As the sheep ate the acorns, they also bit holes in the shepherd's cloak. The shepherd then climbed down from the tree, and when he saw what had happened, he said, "You wretched creatures! You give wool to other people so that they can make clothes, but you take my clothes and ruin them, even though I'm the one who feeds you." Acorn shout out. So, good evening, Marco. So, well done, Danielle. He shook the tree. Bye-bye, Maish. Nice to see you. By climbing and shaking the tree. That's good, BCNLIP. So, a shepherd had driven his sheep into a wood of oak trees. So, Voltaire, the shepherd climbed up the tree. Absolutely. Then he spread his cloak under an oak tree and climbed up into the tree in order to shake the acorns down. As the sheep ate the acorns, they also bit holes in the shepherd's cloak. The shepherd then climbed down from the tree, and when he saw what had happened, he said, "You wretched creatures! You give wool to other people so that they can make clothes, but you take my clothes and ruin them, even though I'm the one who feeds you." So, Count Beauty, the shepherd shook shaken, shook the tree, and acorns fell, fallen, fell, Beauty, fell down on his cloak. Good. Sheena, The shepherd shook the branches of the oak, with a K, tree in order to make the acorns fall. That's good, Sheena. Halit, shake the acorns from off the tree. Good. Petty things. So, by mounting and jolting the oak tree. That's good. Those are good words on. Mohammed, shaking the tree. Absolutely. And Helena, the shepherd shook the acorns off the tree. Moral, do one thing at a time. Sandeep, the shepherd made the acorns fall by climbing the tree. Good evening, George Washington. So, don't take things for granted. That'll work as a moral, hubby. Good evening, Nicole. So, Ricardo, never bite the hand which feeds you, or you will disappoint its owner. Yeah, and then you'll be in trouble. Across the forest alone, take a look right at sheep. So, Susanta, the shepherd spread his cloak underneath the tree. Good. Ascended the tree and shook off the acorns on the cloak. Good English, Susanta. Okay, thank you, Sheena, for your nice words. Aptitude means ability. And Latta has said, don't bite the hand that feeds you. I think that's a good moral as well. Yeah? You shouldn't bite the hand that feeds you because you'll have problems otherwise. Okay, so, Mannequin. He lampooned my artwork in front of my friends. Humans are the best creator to feed all. So, good evening, Layla. So, Tom K. But do sheeps even eat acorns? Yep, sheep do eat acorns. They love them, by the way. I can guarantee it. My sheep certainly eats acorns. If not, why did he want to get the acorn when he herded the sheep? Yeah, they definitely do eat acorns, by the way. Okay, so let me put the story into this box here, and like that it'll be easy to read. Kira, the moral is if you apply your efforts the wrong way, do not expect a good result. That'll work. And Sheena, a selfish person can never overcome his greediness. Good. Don't leave your things to anyone you don't trust. I think I quite like that, Voltaire. That sounds quite good. Okay, so let's see. Let me read this. A shepherd had driven his sheep into a wood of oak trees. So, good evening, Hayden. A shepherd had pushed, had moved his sheep into a wood of oak trees. Then he extended his cloak, his coat, underneath an oak tree and climbed up into the tree in order to shake the acorns down. As the sheep ate the acorns, they also bit holes in the shepherd's cloak. Okay, you wouldn't like holes in your cloak. So, let's see. Be always stalwart to your master, then play a key role in your whole life. Good. So, let's see this, and now let's see if we got the next bit. The shepherd then climbed down from the tree, so he came down from the tree, and when he saw what had happened, he said, "You wretched creatures, you horrible creatures, you nasty creatures, you give the wool from the sheep to other people so that they they can make clothes. But you take my clothes and ruin, to spoil, to break them, even though I am the one who feeds you." Lay versus lie. Lay equals to spread. That's very good on. So, Susanta, don't shoot the messenger. Fine. Elena, if you run after two hares, you'll catch neither. That's pretty good. And Hallet, people who are not trustworthy, we should not do business with them. I agree. Ricardo, never leave your cloak unattended. Yes, George, sheep definitely eat acorns. Okay, so that's enough of this, and then we need to change again, and I'm going to ask you some easy questions. So, cotton comes from a plant, Gam. Cotton comes from a plant. Wool comes from a sheep. So, first question. There's more than meets the eye. Take care of the hand that feeds you. Good, Javi and Maria Angeles. So, some questions. What is half of a half of a half? A cloak. It's like a coat that goes round you, like a blanket. What is half of a half of a half? What is half of a half of a half? So, what is half of a half of a half? So, what is half of a half of a half? Are you still doing the maths? What is half of a half of a half? Pint. No. Acorns are for pigs as well. Yes, pigs like acorns as well. I quite agree, George. An 8, so Tom K. Yes, you need to go one more. Gam says 0.125. That'll do as well. And Jose, an 8. Sandeep, an 8. So let me just put the... What is half of a half of a half? So the answer, 1/8. Yeah? Okay. So half of a half is a quarter, and half of that is 1/8. Okay, so let's try the next one. Next one's easy. What colours do you need to mix to get green? What colours do you need to mix to get green? What colours do you need to mix to get green? What colours do you need to mix to get green? What colours do you mix to get green? Okay, Voltaire's the first one in there. Very definitely Voltaire. What colours do you need to mix to get green? And Count Beauty's in there as well with the right answer. So, what colours do you need to mix to get green? And Ricardo. What about half repeated 8 times? Well, that would be a 16th, wouldn't it? Okay, blue with yellow. Green and yellow would work, I guess, as well, Danielle. Yellow and blue, Javi. Well done, Jose Fernandez. Can we say half a quarter? Yes, you can, Probin. Blue and yellow, Zaid. Kira, yellow and blue. Okay, Maria Angeles, blue and yellow. Hayden. But by word of mouth, you know it's blue and yellow. Yeah. So, Sandeep, blue and yellow, absolutely. Lata, Helena, and green mix. Hello, Rod from Brazil. Yellow and blue, Sheena, that'll do fine. And green is a primary. No, it's not. Red, yellow, and blue are the primaries. Yellow and blue, head through this. White and green, that would work as well, Mohammed. And Marco, correct. Zaid, correct. Lavinia, yellow and blue, good. Blue, yellow, black, yeah, that would give you a dark green, Marco. Okay, green and green, Zubir. Okay, so let's try a more difficult one now. What animal does venison come from? What animal does venison come from? What animal does venison come from? But on your display, green is primary. Yep, okay, like that. Ooh, that's very good, Voltaire. So, what animal does venison come from? What animals does venison come from? What animal does venison come from? And we've had one correct answer. No. So, yes, we've got another one. Huh. So, venison. What animal does venison come from? Well, I think venison, normally we say it comes from a deer. A deer. So what's a deer? Bambi was a deer. Yeah? Okay, so venison is the meat of a deer. Can be very tasty. It's game. It's absolutely, definitely game. Okay, so venison is the meat of a deer. Yeah? Venison animals, absolutely. Well done, Marco. Okay, and let's try one more then. Last one's really easy. What comes out of a chimney? Layla, exactly, a deer. Venison is the meat of a deer, Susanta. Yeah. Okay, so what comes out of a chimney? Okay, Hayden, it's the meat of a deer and it's very tasty. Venison sirloin, yum yum, yeah. Okay, so last one. What comes out of a chimney? I would say horse meat. Yeah? I don't know, I can't think of a specific name, Tom, but horse meat. Yeah, Santa Claus definitely eats venison. So, what comes out of a chimney? Voltaire and Gam and Santa Claus, Hallett, that's very good. Ricardo, smog. Helena, smoke. Kira, smoke. Zaid, smoke. Soothe. No, to soothe is to relax. Mark. Well, okay, what comes out of a chimney? No, smoke. Plumes of smoke. Marco, Susanta, Probin. Sandeep, head through this. Yeah. Yeah, it's very nice. So, Lavinia, good work. And latter, a smoke. Sooth. Sooth is truth. Yeah, the truth. Santa, George Washington, absolutely. Layla, smoke. That's good. Zaid, soot. Soot's this black thing. Plumes of thick black smoke, Susanta. Flue gas, Jose Fernandez. Smoke, and Santa goes into it. Ha ha. Well, what goes in must come out. So, Count Beauty, soot, Kira, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and stuff. Yeah. So, Ricardo, soot. Both smoke and also Santa after bringing your presents. Exactly, Hayden. Okay, I'm going to have to stop here, guys, but let's see. Santa, deers, and fried venison. Zubir, smoke. Lavinia, the thief. That's good. Javi, soot. Soot, this black stuff. Oyin. King's salary comes down the chimney. Sooty cats come out of a chimney. Smoke and light energy. Yeah, I guess so. And sometimes the stuff which got stuck in it. Absolutely. Okay, my friends, enough for today. I will be back next week. I hope you all take care and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back next week and we will do another video just in the same way. So thank you for all your attention. Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for your participation. Bye bye.